It's a gear tester here, and in this video I'm going to be looking at a couple modifications that I've done today as I've been enjoying the outdoors. It's winter, and these modifications have enabled me to start a fire and maintain that fire, as well as keep my gear dry. The first modifications that I've done that you're going to see me talking about is a tripod that I made, and that's right over here that I have my gear. You can see its legs right there. Right here. This is the tripod that I made that I've hung my gear on. I'm going to talk and show you a little bit of that. The second modification here is this windbreak that I've made right there. You can see it there. I've got a what I'm calling a cutting board, but basically a place where I can process wood without having to kneel down in the snow, where I can basically stand up. And then this modification here where I've just laid down two piles of stick, or two rows of sticks, where I can have my fire and get it up off the snow. Here's a little tripod that I made with just 3 sticks, 3 branches, and just a piece of orange webbing. You can see there it's probably 1 inch wide, just a relatively thin webbing. And what I've done here is I made a tripod. It is very snowy out, and I didn't want all my gear and equipment as I was working here and doing some things, practicing some fire starting and just enjoying nature today. I didn't want all my gear and equipment to get wet or have to find places where I could put my gear where it would not get snowy, so I would have to build a platform or hang them on branches, things. So I just took that piece of webbing that I've been carrying around and haven't really found a use for, and it's really nice. I didn't even have to take my gloves off to do it. I have taken my gloves off now because I've been doing some finer work, but it's just a nice little idea, a way of controlling the environment. I haven't used this before like this. I've made a lot of little, you know, when I was younger, a lot of forts and done a lot of different things, but this is just a system. It's kind of reminds me of the kind of thing that I remember seeing in pictures and drawings and paintings during the Civil War, where soldiers would lay their muskets all together and prop them up with the bayonets pointing up. It just allows you to kind of control your gear and equipment. I got my jacket off the ground, my backpack, and some other bags, and I'm able to know where all my equipment is and not lose it, drop it in the snow. So that's just an idea for you guys next time you're out in a snowy condition, or maybe you're just out in the woods in the fall or even the summer and you're just wanting to be able to have a collection point for gear and equipment. Here's another little way that I'm making my life easier, being able to control my situation here outside today, is I'm doing some work with my hatchet, and I'm going to be doing some lighting a fire here in just a little bit. And one of the things that's really nice that I've done here is I've created a cutting board basically for myself. I've stacked these logs up here, and I'll show you guys that a clip in just a second. This is my windbreak. This is comes up to my knee, maybe 2 feet tall, probably less than that. Comes up here, and this is my windbreak this way. My fire is going to be right over here, but I've created just a little bit, just smoothed out this piece of wood here, and it's allowing me to sharpen some pegs. What I did is I just drove 4 pegs into the ground. You can see one of those here, and another one's over here, 4 pegs, and then I just wedged these logs in between them. And that's enabled me to have this windbreak, but now I've got a notch, so as I'm working here I can control chopping and cutting tasks, and then I've just got a flat portion if I want to bring it over here. And that's helped me make some other little pegs I'm going to show you guys that I've done to make a little raised area for my fire, as well as being able to control I'm able to stand up now. I'm not having to kneel down, and I'm finding that to be really beneficial to be able to do that fine work without having to be kneeling in the snow. I can stand up and work off this little platform, and my wood, the pieces of wood that I'm working on, aren't slipping away from me. I'm not having to bend down. So you can see here, there are the 4 little pegs. They're about 3 feet tall, and I pounded them into the ground. See there, and then I just wedged all those logs in between those 2. And then you can see here I have a little raised bed where I've made found a bunch of inch and a half wide pieces of wood, and I have stacked those, and then I just pounded 4 pegs. You can see here these 4 pegs right here and here, and I've raised that up, and I'm going to put some dirt on it, and that's where I'm going to have my fire today. So it's just a couple ways, the tripod and then this windbreak, which I'll give you guys a better look at from the side here. That's the area today, at least, where the wind is coming from. So I've got the windbreak, and then I've got those pegs in the ground holding up that lattice work that I've created to keep my fire off the snow rather than trying to dig down and find the bottom of the snow or the ground there. And then here, this is my tripods right there with my gear and equipment. Then here I've got my windbreak, and I've made that little cutting notch right there on the top. Just gives me a great place to have my gear and equipment to control my situation here as I'm outside today, enjoying God's wilderness and enjoying doing some bushcrafting and just simply enjoying being outside. So I've been continuing to do some chopping here. I ended up shifting this log a little bit. And one of the things I'm realizing that I could have done better about making this windbreak and make it a more stable cutting platform would be to have some more of that orange strapping, that 1-inch webbing, and just do a loop around here and then a loop and pull it tight. That would really, these two and then these two, that would really stabilize this pile of wood. It's a great way for a windbreak. I'm really enjoying being able to stand up as I chop because I'm using this, I think it's got about a 14-inch handled hatchet today. It means that as I'm operating here, I'm not splitting something and cutting into my body. This is being able to catch it right there. I'm also right here as I work on things, I practice manufacturing some tools and some things. I'm being able to then take the pieces of wood, the shavings and things, and just toss them right in the fire and keep my fire going. I'm able to work and maintain my fire without any problems. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope it's given you ideas of some of the things that you can do to modify your camp in the winter. I would love if you would leave a comment and let me know some of the things that you do or some of the things you've thought about doing or some ideas about how to maintain and how to make a winter camp more comfortable for you and your family or those that you might be backpacking or snowshoeing or camping with. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. My goal is to produce quality video reviews of shooting, camping, and survival gear. I've got lots of other videos like this, lots of gear reviews, lots of outdoor adventures are coming up already on my channel. If you like this video, I would encourage you to give me a thumbs up. Helps my channel grow. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. Don't forget to leave a comment and let me know what you would do to modify your camp. This is the Gear Tester signing off.